word of the day. And I've come in second back-to-back years after finishing first place.
No one
I've
cares.
had a great 3-year stretch with this core group.
Oh, that's great. Thanks, Farhan.
So Boston loves Julio Rodriguez.
As do I, a Wilson glove guy.
Matt Higgins said Boston has not one time said, hey, let's go to a Giants game.
And he's a big baseball player.
He'll go to a Cubs game because it's Cubs. But he doesn't want to go to a Giants game. Why? Because the Giants have no stars.
Well, that brings me to Casey Schmidt.
They're not cool enough.
That brings me to Casey Schmidt. Now, look, Julio Rodriguez is a once-in-a-generation type of a player. At least that's what you believe, right? When he shows up, you're like, whoa, wow. If he's this good for 10 years, they got something unique and special. The way that they looked at Ken Griffey Jr., even though Griffey is just one of the all-time greats. Casey Schmidt has to break camp with this team. I would make him my everyday third baseman right now. The glove is already big league level. The bat will come along. Like Joey Bart. We look back at Joey Bart in the 2020 season. How many people push back on me saying he should just play? There were no minor leagues going on at the time. Do we really believe that the 50 or so at bats that he took in 2020, do you think that stunted his growth? Do we really think that? You're either good enough or you're not.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying you can't go down and work on things if you're not getting every day at bats. Like, that's a different conversation. But, like, really? David VR is going to stunt the growth of Casey Schmidt? Just put him at third base. And if he's good, let's just say he's good and shows a little bit of promise, how different is the vibe around the Giants for every single fan? You have one guy who could be a cornerstone type player defensively. It changes everything.
Well, you still need the bat. Can he hit? That's what's going to really
raking in spring training.
Okay, so he's raking. If he rakes, and I would just let him. The first 2 months, I say, Casey Schmidt, the job is yours. Don't worry about going down.
Yes,
don't worry about Sacramento. Don't even think about Sacramento.
Yeah.
Don't even look at a River Cats box score. You're playing here for the first 2 months of the season. That's what should happen.
Well, and here's the other thing.
That's what should happen. And if he, what will galvanize the fan base? We need a bopper. Let's offense sells tickets, dude.
But defense as well.
Defense is fine, but we're not paying to go watch Crawford pick it all the time. That gets old.
Well, what makes Nolan Arenado great is he can do both, right? What makes the truly great players is they can do both. Now, I don't know if he's on that level, but I know the glove is dynamic. Look, Brandon Crawford has had a 13-year career. Why? Because he has one of the most dynamic gloves and arms the game's ever seen.
No doubt.
Right? And I'm not saying that flippantly. I mean that sincerely. Like, you don't just play shortstop for 13 years and win a Gold Glove in your 12th year if you're not special.
Have you ever spent money on a ticket? And maybe you're the wrong guy to ask. Maybe you're the wrong guy to ask for this. But do you spend a ticket for a guy who has a great glove?
Ozzie Smith. Scott Rowland just got in right now.
Matt Chapman. Did we spend money to go watch Matt Chapman pick it at third base?
Well, the bat has declined since the hip injury. But he was really good before, like in terms of the bat, before the hip injury.
When Nolan Arenado comes to town, I'm excited to watch him hit.
Agreed, but he makes sick defensive plays. And in this era where there's going to be a more emphasis on no shift, on no banning of, not being allowed to shift, you're going to need more defensive players. I think that there's going to be an emphasis on it.
But if he doesn't hit, Casey Schmidt, if he doesn't hit, then fans will be like, yeah, great with the glove, but he can't bat.
Well, I mean, right now, the third base production.
They need a hitter.
I mean, the third base production, you're looking at about, 15 home runs a year that Longoria's given you and a 250, 260 average?
Exactly. That's not good enough.
Well, if he can't do that, then it's not good enough. But he fits right in. This is a team that had a 228 batting average as a team last year.
I'm looking at Tyler Miller, Posey, and B. Crawl were stars. Posey was a star.
Crawl was not.
Crawl was not a star.
No, he was not.
He was not a star.
No.
He was an eighth hitter.
But he still can go down as one of the great defensive players in Giants history.
He's had clutch hits. But it turns to resonate, though. And if you want to be endearing to the fan base,
somewhere.
I agree with that, Shasky. I don't think you're understanding, though. If you want to be a star here, you better be able to do both.
Well, that's obvious.
I'm looking at Arenado's stats up right now with the hitters.
Yeah.
8-20, 400 average.
In the WBC.
In the WBC, World Baseball Classic.
I mean, he hits 30 every year.
Every year.
I know.
And we know he's got a great glove, but it's like, damn, he can hit.
Yeah, but Nolan Arenado is the gold standard at the position. So, that's a high bar. I mean, that's like someone saying, oh, you're a good point guard? Well, look at what Steph Curry's doing. You know what I mean? Not that Arenado is Steph Curry, but Arenado's going to the Hall of Fame as long as he maintains for a couple more years.
Right.
That's how great his numbers have been.
Right.
This kid, Casey Schmidt, defensively is just different. And I think that the glove is already there. The bat will come. And from what I've seen thus far with the bat, it's not like he's a 190 hitter.
Well, if the bat comes.
In minor league, he has hit better than Joey Bart.
Okay, so if the bat comes, now we're talking about some star power. Now we're talking about a potential star. But the bat has to come. That's all I'm saying here.
Is Bregman a star?
Who?
Bregman?
Alex Bregman, absolutely.
You think he's a star?
Absolutely, because of his bat.
I don't know if I'd say Altuve's a star on that team.
Go look at those numbers, man.
I know they're incredible.
Bregman's been awesome.
But I don't think, when we talk about stars, I don't put him in the star category. Yeah. Great player. Bregman is and I don't know how many people know he's third baseman for the Astros, MVP candidate, the last couple of years.
Great player.
It can hit, can run, can throw, can do a little bit of everything. I mean, just a solid all-around player. But, if he's that kind of level player, he is an all-star. Well, forget being a star.
If Casey Schmidt is Bregman, you're talking about a guy you could build your roster around.
I totally agree.
You're talking about a 2, 3, 4 hitter.
But that's what this guy could potentially, even if he's a 5 hitter, even if he's a 5 or a 6 hitter, you can get away with that.
Yeah, you can. So the bat has to come around.
And we don't need him to be.
That's all I'm saying, Shasky. It's if he doesn't hit, sure, you're going to be a great defensive player.
Obvious.
But you'll be a 7th, 8th hitter, and we're not going to talk about you much.
He retransformed his swing in the minor leagues and has hit at every level. That's why he rose so quickly last year in the system. Whereas a lot of guys in the Giants farm did not hit. He actually did hit, and that's where he made the biggest strides.
Exactly. Well, that's all I'm saying. I want to see him hit because Bregman is a cornerstone with the Astros. They let Springer walk.
No doubt. Springer, Correa, too.
Correa, they let him walk.
I know.
Why? Because they had Altuve and they had Alex Bregman.
Well, and
Jordan Alvarez.
I was going to say, Jordan Alvarez is ridiculous.
And Kyle Tucker was coming
And they had Pena coming in through the ranks. They had a lot of stuff. So, look, I'm just saying, I have not been this excited for a prospect in a long, long time for the Giants. And maybe he's just not good enough, and we'll find out. But from the glove, I think the glove is special. And if you have a special glove, that puts you in the lineup every day. The bat can come along, and I'll grow with the bat. Did you think that Crawford would have a 13-year career 10 years ago?
Yeah, but they hit him down on the lineup for a long, long time, and they didn't put that pressure on him to be a 5, 4, 3, 2 hitter.
But we don't need we don't need that from him today.
Yeah, but
they've got Conforto, and they've got Jock, and they've got some other guys. I know. You're rolling your eyes.
Conforto, come on, dude.
But I'm not asking Casey Schmidt to bat 3, 4, 5 right now. I'm asking him 2 or 6.
But he has to do that.
Well, eventually.
2-hitter is a big spot now. Mike Trout bats second.
Well, Mike Trout's the best player in baseball.
But you're putting your power hitters in the 2
they have Ohtani batting third.
A lot of these new analytics are putting their guys in the 2 spot.
No, I know.
So if you're batting in the 2 spot,
the Larry Walker.
Yeah, if you're in the 2 spot, that means you can hit.
Of course.
That means you're one of my best hitters on the team.
Well, and he's one of the few guys that actually can move. Right? Because they have a team of guys that can't run.
So if Casey Schmidt can't hit, he's going to be batting 7.
I'm looking at this team.
And that doesn't get me excited.
He's hitting better than Yaz. He's hitting better than the other outfielders that they have, not named Conforto. Manchanager's on the DL right now. So he should
bat second.
I don't know what he's going to bat. I got to see what the lineup looks like. Estrada might bat second right now. I don't know what they're... I'm thinking, from what I've seen right now, it looks like Conforto's somewhere at the top of the lineup. I think Estrada's going to be somewhere at the top of the lineup, and Jock's probably going to be in the 3-hole.
Where's Casey Schmidt going to be?
I think in the 6-hole to start with.
That's not bad. That's not bad, but eventually, if he wants to be a star and a cornerstone of this franchise, because Posey was the cornerstone, Pence was the cornerstone. I even think Brandon Belt was more of a cornerstone than Brady Crawford.
Well,
Brady Crawford
Pence was an acquisition, but I agree.
But he turned into a cornerstone.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
But when he joined the team, they already had established studs. You know what I'm saying? They had those guys. Belt was still in his prime. Posey was still in his prime, and they added him to the mix, and he was absolutely worthy. And Pablo, don't sleep on how good Pablo was.
So you just made my point.
But you got to start somewhere.
Crawford wasn't that cornerstone. You're hyping up Casey Schmidt these last 2 days.
I'm telling you,
and I hope Casey Schmidt is really, really good. But you're hyping him up like he's the next Nolan Arenado.
No, I'm not. I'm saying
you're hyping him up.
I think his glove is special, and I think the bat will come along.
And as a Giants fan like me, I'm the type of Giants fan who's like, I'm tired of hearing about prospects.
Who was the last prospect that excited you for the Giants? Was it Duffy?
Probably Lincecum. No, but Posey.
Posey?
And that was 13 years ago.
That's my point. So I can't get excited now? But
I'm not saying you can't get excited.
We're talking about Kuminga's potential.
It's not the excitement.
I've seen so many. I know, but
no, it's the hype.
Kuminga had hype. Wiseman had hype.
Well, you see it, though. You see it. They're both balling. They're both balling.
There was a long period where we didn't see a lot from either one of them. So Casey Schmidt shows some flashes in some games. I can't get excited?
No, I'm not saying anything about your excitement. You're taking it the wrong way. I'm saying the way you're hyping him, I'm expecting this guy to be Noah Arenado.
Well,
you're hyping this guy up saying
egregious.
he's hitting 414 in spring training. Now, I don't give a damn about spring training numbers. How many times we see spring training numbers get inflated or deflated, or a guy's batting 100, oh, man, he didn't look good this spring, and he goes out there and bats 330 during the course of the regular season. Trey Turner, we was having this conversation yesterday. Yeah. Trey Turner hasn't hit a spring training home run in 5 years.
But he's an established
He's got
stud.
3 in the World Baseball Classic.
But those are established studs. When you're a young player.
So miss me with. I
can't remember the last time a young player went into Giants camp and proved it. Okay. It hasn't happened, and that's why this feels different.
Right. But miss me with the numbers. I want to see it.
Well,
and it's not the excitement.
All I have right now are those numbers.
It's not your excitement. It's the hype that he's now receiving. And we've seen hype with a lot of prospects.
Who?
Gary Brown comes to mind. Steven Duggar comes to mind.
Over a decade ago.
Steven Duggar comes to mind.
Gary Brown never batted 400
Steven Duggar comes to mind.
Duggar
they were hyped up.
But he wasn't this.
Joey Bart, number 2 overall pick. He was hyped up.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
I think the people that
How many times I heard about Tyler Beatty and Ty Block and all those guys?
Well, those guys were all flameouts. I mean, that's
people were excited about those prospects.
Again, when they drafted them, they were excited. But seeing the actual production of what he's done in the big league camp, I think that's the differentiator.
Right. And it has nothing to do. I'm not killing your excitement. I'm excited to see it now. But I'm saying the hype that everybody's giving this guy. Like, whoa, wait a minute here. Let's see it first. Okay, his glove is great. What can he do at the plate? Can he hit for power?
Well, isn't that
because his team needs power hitters?
I mean, like
this team needs.
But what's what
guys
we do in
who can
sports when we see a little something? You and I did a video on Trey Lance off of practice, so I can't get excited off of Casey Schmidt in these real games.
You're taking it wrong.
Games, but these
I'm not
games?
killing you for being excited. I never did that once. I'm saying the hype. Okay. Let's see what he does on the big league diamond, and let me see what he does at the plate.
That's
and
fair.
if he doesn't do anything at the plate, then how can he be a star? And if he doesn't do anything at the plate, then he's not going to live up to the hype that you're giving him.
That's obvious.
That's all that's saying.
I mean, if Brock Purdy comes back and falls on his face, then yeah, he's not going to be a starter.
I'm not killing you for being excited about the kid. Great. We got one prospect to be excited about. At least there's one thing to be excited about with Giants baseball.
And that's
how dire the situation is, which is even an indictment on the Giants. The fact that we're getting excited about a prospect we just heard about last September.
Look, the most excited people are is to see Sergio Romo get his final pitch against the Oakland A's. Like, that's how dire it is, to your point, and I agree with that. So my point is, I want to see the Giants start with this guy. Let's see some optimism. I think if he showed any promise early on in the season, the entire vibe of the Giants and how we cover them, how we watch them, how we view them would be just totally changed. I think it would just change everything.